Boom! What's up, y'all? So, I am here with Michael. Michael, what's your last name? Georgianni. And he is the RawKin RadStar amazing man that did my hair, what was it, about 3 weeks ago?
About 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago? And so he called me, or messaged me today and said, hey, you want to play and rap? And I said, yeah. So we are at, what is it, Ninth Bar, and we're drinking coffee. I got the pumpkin latte. What'd you get?
A dirty, muddy chai.
Muddy chai. So we're sitting here rapping and we're just gonna play. This might be, and I actually love that it is kind of crooked. I like that.
From the line in the back.
Yeah, but I am not taller than you like that, am I? There's no way I'm taller than you like that.
But it looks like I'm taller.
So we are just gonna rap and just play, and probably the first topic of. Well, actually, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Michael Georgianni. I'm a local hairdresser here, and I ran across Tommy's videos. Hiya with the pinky. So I saw these rad food reviews, and I just reached out, and I wanted to get to know more about Tommy, and he introduced me to the Ridiculously Raw Authentic page. And so then I got onto that, and I haven't really announced myself, so that's who I am. I'm a local hairdresser, and here we go. I love to help people. I love to make people beautiful. So.
And you've been doing hair for a long, long time.
I have. I've been doing hair now. It's a little over 17 years. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think in this season, in this time of where I'm at, it's one of those things where I do well. I'm able to support my family and these kinds of things, but I still feel there's this hole in what I do, and I want to help people. I mean, that's what I do. And this sucky thing about how we are is we need money to survive, and if I could do what I am skilled with, what I'm gifted with, I would do it for free every day.
Yes.
Just because I get a high off of like making people happy and beautiful, and not in like I have to feel like I need to make everybody happy, but there's something when you take a person and you cut their hair, or maybe you change her makeup or his look, and you give them a new lease, you know, and then that to me, I walk away from every haircut when I'm like, yeah, that's it, or this is the picture I want, and I give them that. That's the love I have, and so I want to share that with people, and I want to reach out to people who need it. And the homeless scene is like, we see it everywhere, and that's a person. I've been in those positions, whether I've created them myself or life has thrown me a curveball, and I've had a really shitty time, and life has taken a weird turn, you know. So I think that with a new haircut, with a new like vibe about you, you just feel good. You walk out like a new suit, you know.
Yes. It's empowering.
It's totally empowering, and you in a way you shouldn't have to pay for it, you know. I think that if somebody like God has given me this gift to help, and I'm now coming to realization that that's what I have.
It's like the gift economy. I love that you just said that. I don't feel like people should pay for it.
Right. And to like, it's kind of like when you go to the doctor, right? And the doctor's like, this extra little thing will help you feel better, but you got to pay for it.
Right.
It's like, so you can't, because you got to eat, and you have a life, you know, you have child support, or you have, you know, things are just there. Mm-hmm. that this little tiny thing that I'm able to do freely, mm-hmm. like I have my backpack in my car, I could do it like right now, it's sitting here. Is like, it's a gift. So unfortunately there's things that I have to take care of in life, but so then that's the business I've created for myself. So now that I'm there, mm-hmm. I'd like to then help, and I bought a van. I bought a very large van, mm-hmm. and I'm going to convert it. It's been done before for a higher end market. It's for wealthy men and women to go into and get their hair done, secluded, and these kinds of things. Well, I'm taking that concept and I'm going to make it into my service van, where I can go places and I can go to areas that kids need haircuts before school, and the moms and parents are struggling. Do I put new clothes in their back, or those new shoes or whatever, and forego the haircut? No, like I pull up and then I can bang out 20 kids haircuts in a day.
Yes.
And I think with me doing it, starting it by myself, I think I'd inspire other hairdressers who then can part-time the thing. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to make it a full-time situation rather than, a part-time, just reach my hand out occasionally. I want to make it a thing. Like,
That is what's
help,
up.
so.
And so when Michael reached out to me, I ninja flipped over to his salon and I said, just do whatever you want to do. And we rapped for what, 2.5, 3 hours?
Yeah.
And Michael has so many stories.
Yeah, I do.
He's really funny. He's very, very smart and very passionate about what he does. And he has a ton of passions, from making boats that he wasn't even like, he just taught himself. He's like making boats like from scratch, like the mold of the wood.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I went online, and here's the great thing about our internet world is you can be taught anything, and if you're anybody, everybody's creative. Everybody has a creative flow in them, whether it's humongous or a sliver. You do something that's creative, and the internet's great for this, because if you're curious about knitting, if you're curious about whatever, you can do it. And you have the ability, and yourself is in the way mostly, and I know that's a challenging, controversial thing to talk about, but I've discovered at 45 years old that I've been in my own way a lot of times, and I'll continue to do it. But in life, like, you can learn things. And so I wanted to learn how to weld, so I built a little tiny mini bike with a motor on it, and so that I got my high off of that and I left it. And then I went into, I want a boat, and I'm not going to spend $12,000 on a boat. This is really freaking stupid. So what do? Well, these guys make them out of wood, like plywood and stuff. So let me try. And then, being the creative being I am, I went over the top with it, and it came out beautiful. And every time I take it out, somebody wants it. And so then that opened my eyes to go, wow, I wonder if I can get some, like, maybe troubled kids together and, you know, get a group and maybe find some funding to build boats with kids who, you know, then would discover they have a skill, you know. And
so you have a lot of carpentry skills.
I do.
And then he already has a Sprinter van.
I do. I just bought that 4 months ago.
So you already have been manifesting this in a way, because now you have the van, you have the skills, the carpentry skills.
100%.
Then you flip the van into like this conversion thing, and it can be like, have you came up with names yet? Or?
No, and that's the challenge I'm running into, because honestly, I don't want to make it sound like this, because the van is big, right? And I want it to be more than one van. I want it to be more than one thing, right? So now at the beginning, organic stage of this, I want to create something that's not, it doesn't scream charity base. It doesn't scream, I'm going to pull up and make you over. I want it to be this like not hippie-ish, but love bus. I want it to be like, this thing is coming to help people, but not be offensive in any way. I want to be able to pull up to a bridge and walk under it and go grab some brothers and say, hey, you need to be cleaned up. Let me help you out. Fresh shave, this, that. And then make it as equal as that as me pulling up to the Walmart and handling all those kids, or a women's shelter and handling all those women, you see?
Yes.
So I haven't thought of a name because I'm stuck in that in my head creatively. Yeah. And I'm one that I want to make it perfect before it comes off the ground, and I know that you have to do the work first before it's perfect. Right. So
as you were sharing that, I had a billion ideas with branding and stuff, and I love how you said under the bridge, kind of hippie-ish. But you know, I've seen Michael twice now. I've seen his Facebook profile, and I've rapped with him a little bit, and he's always has the same look in black, you know. And so I'm thinking a black bus, and you might trip when I say this, but a high def photo of your face and brand it as yourself. You can go the complete opposite. But you have such a great look, so you could brand it yourself. In 2019, you kind of want to brand yourself. Yeah. You can go the complete opposite way and kind of make it anonymous, or you can get like funny with the names or something. But you can get like, what's your full name? How do you spell your full name?
Michael Sean Georgianni. So,
how are you spelling Sean?
S-E-A-N.
S-A-E-N.
S-E-A-N.
S-E-A-N. Is that normal, or is it?
It's kind of an off. Sean would be S-H-A-W-N, I believe, for most Seans.
And your last name is super like original. Like it's like very rare. Like
there's 10 letters. My grandfather came from Italy, and he met a Cuban girl in Ybor City, and bang, the Georgianni started. So there's few of us. There's offbeats of the Georgiannis that have married into other names that are lawyers and things like that into Tampa. But you're right. My last name is. It's unusual.
Is there any big brands, whether it be around the world or anything else, that has that name?
No, there's not.
I'm thinking of something that's a cologne that's it sounds similar.
There's Giorgianni.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Giorgio Armani, and then it's not even close, right? It just kind of resembles that. So you could do. I am thinking about just branding your, and this is just we're just rapping and free flowing. Again, have you had any ideas of colors, branding, or names?
Well, before when I first got into doing hair, I worked with this Persian guy in Atlanta, and he from day one he was like, you have to put your name on products, and I've been in this industry a long time to see how much products really don't matter in a sense for people to buy them. And now with the internet, people will go shop anywhere. So as an investment, it wouldn't be good for me to make a product name. And I've researched it heavily.
What do you mean a product name?
So like if I took and did that whole process, so if I did Michael Giorgianni's products, so I have shampoo and conditioner and styling products, these kinds of things. I'm fighting a market of Paul Mitchell's, and I'm fighting a market of Redkins and these other high-end companies that I'd have to spend so much effort to push this through, not just through my own little studio or my salon. It would be beneficial on a small scale, but the effort put out would be just too much. So,
are you familiar with Jeffree Star, the makeup guru?
Mm-hmm.
He's like flipped up the makeup industry upside down, like the Kylie Jenners and the Jeffree Star. I don't know if he's a transgender. He's just an amazing guy, and he pairs up. He just paired up with Shane Dawson, who's a huge YouTube. You know Shane Dawson. They just released a Shane Dawson line of this palettes and stuff. So that's maybe something we could look at him, because a lot of the rules are being broke right now.
Yeah.
You know, the Redkins and whoever you said, the Paul Mitchells.
Yeah.
Like that can be disrupted for sure.
Yeah.
You know, especially with what you're doing original now. If you're giving haircuts in colors, now you mentioned to me that you in Atlanta were actually working with African American females as well. So you have an array of flavors.
I do all hair. The challenge that I run into, and I've had from the beginning of my career, is I carry. I'll collect a few African American clients that hear about me, but I'm not fully booked with cultured hair, ethnic hair generally. I get a lot of Latin girls because I do killer blow dries, these kinds of things. But like to look at me, product brand wise, you wouldn't look at me and go, that boy knows how to do black hair. Like you wouldn't get that immediately. But I am good with that, and then that was my career path, so that I could learn everything and not turn anything away from my door. And I love that. Now, men's black barbering, I would definitely have to polish up on, or I would bring someone in to help me go through that whole process. But yeah.
Is it because there's a lot of, it's more, with women, is it more of coloring? With men, it's more of cut?
Yeah, men are more grooming. You're doing your beard shapings or face shaves. You're doing cutting, whether it's a classic cut scissor work or you're doing both with clipper and scissor kind of thing for guys. And with women, you're mostly doing cut and color. Now that's for the general public. Now somebody that needs a leg up or me to like totally make them over, I'd be doing the full shenanigans, the color, the cut, everything. And some people might just want to have a haircut. You know, it might be too much for them to be that sexy that fast. You know, it might flip them out.
Dude, I don't mind being too sexy too fast. If there's a button for that, let me push that.
So that's what I would love to do. You know, see, but and my vision of that would be like, you know, women's shelters that maybe job interviews are coming or these kinds of things, because that whole thing. And mind you, I have clientele that take their clothes and either throw them away or go and throw them into Goodwill or these kinds of places where I could be taking things like this and finding suits for women's jobs or men's suits or things that were really nice to keep, because these are higher end clientele that just toss things. I had a client.
You mean and then gift it back to?
Totally, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Just make sure it's like,
dude,
it's
you're
like
giving me chills. That would be huge.
Right, and so my chair holds so much of this possibility that I can give this away.
On the go.
Right.
Mobile.
Right, and you can have a closet to pull from. You could have products to give them that they could be using, you know, for the next 2 months while they're at that new job, developing their money, buying their own shampoo or whatever, or even calling me if they still need help to go through that process. So that's kind of what
How long is yours? Sorry, is yours 17 foot or 20 foot?
It's 13 on the inside of the floor, 16 on the inside of the floor.
Okay, so could you put a rad chair in there, or would it be something like pull out, or cause
No, the chair would be inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing, how it works is there's a picture I have to show you, but so you enter through the van, and as soon as you take a left, there's a station chair, there's actually a shampoo sink, there'll be a mirror in the back, and as you enter, that whole thing could be the closet of the thing, because it's very personal. You're going in singly to get that flip.
Right.
And then that person would leave. So I would do it inside the vehicle.
And then if you're like on a roll, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna blow up, you can have the passenger seat, the one that spins, and make that into like a little, like a recliner, so you could sleep there. I know sometimes they have the hanging beds where like it's up against the wall, and then maybe it holds down. You put like a wire so if you need to sleep or whatever. You know, because man, what you said about the women, because I'm at a homeless shelter now, and a lot of them, don't have that much confidence.
Yeah.
And they all have their original story, but you upped it another flavor, so you can hit the sexy button on their hair, but then you can like ninja flip open a closet.
Yeah, and just have them pick things that they would
like
use.
a blouse, a skirt, whatever it is, right? And you would get that from your higher end or your clients that you already have, maybe
100%.
Because you put the sexy button on them and it changes their whole style. You said.
And
sometimes they throw clothes away. You're like, I'll gift these and put them in my van.
Exactly right.
Huge.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because I think it was you that brought this to my attention, that in homeless shelters there's like men's underwear, men's deodorant, men's t-shirts, men's socks. There's hardly anything, but there's few of the women's hygiene products. There's few things that are directly for them, and women's bodies are completely different than men's bodies, and they need certain things. And if you could pull something out of the closet that was last season, that somebody who had more money than they needed is buying new clothes for whatever reason, then wants to donate that stuff, hell, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm wearing 7-year-old blue jeans myself right now today, and it's just my life. That's how I live.
Right.
But there are people who cycle through things and discard them because of whatever. It's last year's fashion, and somebody who has nothing, and I lived in that space, because I choose, but that's awesome. You know, like a new pair of shoes, boom, makes me super excited.
Yeah. You basically head to toe.
Yeah.
And you start with the head, right?
Right.
I love that. I love that. So there's so many flavors to this, and just wrapping, and we could wrap forever about this. And things might change. You might add one flavor here, add one flavor here. So I already can say that it's going to be a success. The thing is let's get real. How are you going to monetize so you can do your passion and gift your gifts to them?
Right.
So that would be through sponsors, maybe initial GoFundMe. Have you thought about everything that you're going to do with your van? You're not going to hire a contractor, and you're going to do with yourself. So it'd be like on a slim budget.
Yeah.
So
totally.
as your van is now, what would you need? I mean, think of everything from would you need like 10, 15 grand?
I'd say 10 or 15 grand would probably get that thing rolling. That's wrapped, everything done, bumper to bumper on that truck. And I bought an older truck. I think I spent $4,000 on it when I bought it. So I'm trying to go as less. I mean, that was the cheapest one I could find. It has higher mileage. I'm mechanically inclined. I can do the inside of it. The model that I was basing this off of in California, they have $40,000 and $50,000 vans with $20,000 installs on them to make it look like the inside of a Lear jet, and it handles really well with the higher end clientele. I can make that same look by going to Joann Fabrics and Home Depot and finishing it the way I know how.
Right.
And I have 3 chairs already. I have a sink. I have things collected from when I had my salon before my divorce, and that I just keep on at bay for if I have ever opened another salon. And this is the path I want to go in.
So the marketing aspect, you can have an array of different sponsors, but you need like one big one, possibly 2 big ones, and that you can include in the wrap.
Yeah, oh totally.
I mean, if you got like $150,000 sponsor, there would be a wrap and then some other things, but then you had like 5 or 6, like you were talking about, little travel shampoos, stuff like that. I mean, they can even come up with like a homeless human toiletry bag or something,
that would
something
be
like
so
that.
Fresh.
You know what I mean?
And that would be really cool if I got people to come in, like different sponsors to come in. So, you have like your hygiene bag. mixed with, say, a backpack, a waterproof backpack for somebody. And you know, even if I got things for like Starbucks, or I got gift cards for homeless, that would be so awesome, because then you'd have, you know, that's money. You know, that's money, and somebody and the outside world thinks, oh, that's safe money because you know, it's not cash I'm giving to somebody. That's great. You know, it's still food. It's still going to Walmart and buying the shirt they need, or the underwear, or whatever it is that they need. So the pens they need for their job, or you see.
Yeah, so you can continue to do what you're doing at the salon, and tell everybody where you work now.
So I'm in Salon Lofts, Countryside. I'm in Loft number 5 here in Clearwater, Florida. I've been there for 2 years now. I'm now sharing a loft, and at about next August, I'm planning to move out of my loft into the one across the hall. So I'll be moving into my own single space where I'll be. What's cool about that is, because I'm not renting a spot, I'll have it 7 days a week, and if I needed to do anything in my loft, I'm free to do as I want.
Is that same building, but different little cubby holes?
Yeah, there's 30 units in that place. So
how would it be different than the one you're in now? Bigger?
Nope, same size. I'll have a window, because I want an outside facing one next time. And I'll be able to come in 24/7, 7 days a week, rather than my 3 days that I'm splitting it with somebody.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, so that where you're at now, where I was at, there's another person that is, when you're not there, they are there.
Yeah, economically, it makes a lot of sense.
Just splits it in half?
Yeah, so we just come up with our own little schedule out of the 7 days, how we're gonna split it. And then, so that's how we have it arranged, which is great, because the salon loft format allows people to do that. So say you're not really developed enough, there's some hairdressers who are older, like the guy I split it with, who only wants to work 3 days. So that enables me to come in and only have to spend half as much on rent than it does a full amount, which is crazy. It's like, it's a mortgage.
So marketing wise, but let's get back to marketing. So basically, I think you just need, you need some funds, 10 to 15 grand, get that going, and continue to tell your story as you're raising those funds.
Yes.
And include footage of, I got this chair, I'm installing this chair. Look at this other thing. Oh, look at this closet I'm building. So you can slow drip content and actually use that content as the fundraiser. Continue to do what you're doing at your salon, and continue to do even when you first start. Say at the homeless shelter where I'm at, HEP, right? They have a bus stop. I know all the spots behind the library. I know where all the spots are. So let's fast forward. You raise 15 grand. You spend that 15 grand. You've got the van, right? Now you continue to have your clients. I know when I was playing with you and you hooked me up with this rad haircut, you said that you wanted more like clients now. So so you continue to do that. You continue to build that, and then you slowly find your way. You do 300, 400, 500 ninjas, right? And all of that is slow drip content. All of it is content. And what would be cool is with your van, maybe you could find you can have solar on the top, so you can have some juice on there, so you can have like maybe a Mac or some video cameras and stuff.
To it. Yep, that's how it's done too.
And some cool lighting, so maybe you can do an interview, maybe while you're cutting, maybe a Wi-Fi antenna, the whole thing. So then once this goes off, then you get that big sponsor, 100 G's, 150 G's, and 5 or 6, because in that way, you're gifting your gifts for free, and these sponsors believe in you, believe in your message, believe in your gifts, and then you are monetizing off those sponsors, and you are gifting everything else to the houseless and to the homeless.
Yes, totally. And
that's
encouraging
huge.
other, and the idea would be to create other vans to then give this concept to hairdressers to do this on the weekend or their days off. Because as an artist, as a hairdresser artist, if you continually, and any artist, if you continue to keep your hands in that work, you're going to get better and better and better and better and understand it from a different level than it is if you're just showing up the 9 to 5 to get paid from Sally, who's a bitch and wants you to make her hair green, and you don't want to make it green, or you'll lose energy.
You know what would be beautiful? Let's fast forward 24 months from now, and all this has come true.
Yes.
That now you already put not the schematics, the blueprint for the van, the blueprint on how you did this, you failed here, oh, this helped here, the closet helped here, I found out that women like this certain times, and there's every city is different. You put this one whole concept together and you just gift it. You just gift it. Be like, this is what you do, because then what happens is now you have all this content, all these live feeds, all these 1-minute clips on Instagram, and you have a donation button. So those donations can go directly, they can still fund you. So you can have, you can make an LLC, you could be like a nonprofit as well, right? So and we're just talking money here again, so let's fast forward 5 years from now. Now, would you expand, because there's only one, Michael, would you expand to a second van? Or would you,
Yeah.
you would do that?
I would definitely would push out other vehicles, because in that way, as that corporation or that
S-Corp,
S-Corp, whatever it would be, as that would be a thing, I mean, you essentially would be how a church or a homeless shelter would be. And so then you would then gift that out. So I would, I guess, be responsible for those vehicles, but I would love to have that.
Right, if that ninja that ran that van was like in line with everything that you've been doing, skill set wise, passion wise, all of that stuff.
It would have to be exactly. I would be really picky about it. I honestly would be, because you can be excited. Hairdressers are very passionate people, and we're very creative people. Myself being included in this category, that you'll lose interest in stuff and go find something else that's more creative. And I don't want to find somebody who's like that, because I am that way naturally, but when I lock onto something and I don't let go of it, this is how it is. This is what it'll be. So I want to find somebody who feels and I can see as passionate as I am.
Yes.
Because we all love to do hair, but ask a hairdresser, they like to get paid.
Right.
And they're doing $300 colors because they have rent due. They're doing $150 services because of, I feel, the wrong reasons in a way.
So check it. So we're 5 years, you've done everything. Are you still going to maintain that large clientele, or would a jumbo sponsor every year that renewed under 150 grand, would that be plausible, where you could just say, you just keep your favorite, I don't know, 69 clients? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, that's what it would turn into, honestly, because today, if I change everything, I would drop not my career, but I would just drop doing the high-end hair that I do and do that.
Right.
If it was funding enough, if I had enough funding to pay my mortgage or my responsibilities, these kinds of things, if I had that funding to do that, I would get up every day, 5 to 7 days a week, and go cut free hair, because that's the buzz I get. I mean,
and dude, like, how rad would that be, where like you find these spots, so it's a new journey for you every single day.
Yes.
You don't go to the same salon.
Right.
You know, you get to go here, you get to go here, you get to go all these places, and then you get to rap with all these homeless ninjas, and they could say, well, man, there's this spot over here that not a lot of people know about. You can ninja flip over your van on a surprise visit.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And leave like areas that I would show up to on certain times. Like you would know that, because, you know, I feel that, like, in the homeless scene, you know that this place is doing this or this place is doing that. It's kind of connected, right? So if I say I'm at this church or this shelter, or I'm at this spot on these certain days, then people get known in those communities that I'm there. Same principle as if it was the higher end one going to the business districts with paying for these $60 men's haircuts, you know? The buzz would get out there. Word of mouth is great, and if you got a great haircut, obviously you're going to tell people.
Yeah.
But even in every human will experience that and share. And like you said, I could pull up anywhere and do it.
And you could even build a community of, what would you call yourself? A salonist, an artist,
Stylist.
Stylist. You could even build a community of stylists that say, hey, I really dig what you're doing, Michael. I would like to volunteer, you know, Tuesdays and Thursdays for a couple of cuts, so they can ninja flip in the van. Then you guys jump out like the A-team.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then you can hit a couple, like 6 ninjas versus 3.
And what's great about that van idea and having it inside, like, and for big scale, I can take 2 other chairs and set them outside with an awning. You know, this van's the size of an RV.
So if it's raining,
exactly.
Awning.
You can then do 3 chairs running with 2 volunteers. And that would work best in my mind for the business model of it, because I'd rather be able to take and choose a stylist, because if their heart's not in it, or maybe I do one and they're not like, not that you have to be wicked spiritual, but I just want to make sure that someone's giving this person what they need at that moment, because you're in a fragile state, you know. When I was in those positions and you feel like there's nothing that's going to help you, you don't need somebody talking about the president they hate, or, you know, these kinds of things. So I want to make sure that person is just giving love in there and helping in every aspect that they can, not just with the haircut and the color and the makeover, but like helping that person. So if I can choose of, like, I don't want Sally Sue or Jimmy Bob to come in or whatever, that's what I would love to do.
let's end it at that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So some questions for you all. What do you think about this video? Do you have any advice? Do you have any recommendations about, you know, a GoFundMe? Should we do it here? Do you know anybody that would like this idea? We want your feedback.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Do you have any questions from them at all?
No, just that. I'm kind of in this raw, organic stage of developing this. It has been, it was I've felt like it's been spoken to me for almost like 2 years to create something. So it started with my boat idea. And so I built this boat. I'm like, this is easy. I wonder how many kids were in the position I was when I was a teenager, raising hell and getting arrested and going to jail and doing all this stuff, that could do this and realize they have a skill or that they are creative, and no one's ever going to show them how to do that. So that I wanted to create that 2 years ago, and it just kind of went by the wayside. And then now it's this, and I know that this is the gift I have. It's not just building boats. I am creative, but I'm good at what I do, and it's a shame that I sit around on Wednesdays and Thursday mornings when I'm not in my salon, and this is what I think about. You know, it's like, who can I go help out with the skill I have?
Well, I am thankful that you reached out to me when you did.
Thank you.
That was super kind of you, and I'm in. So whatever I can do to help you, you let me know, you let us know.
Yeah, bring me some people to cut. We'll do it outside. Don't bring a bench and a bucket.
So watch out for us. We're gonna be wrapping. I'm drinking coffee, so we're probably gonna sit here for another half hour, 45 minutes. So watch out for some content. If it's just maybe I'll ninja flip into his salon and, you know, do some little clips, little tutorials, some educational stuff, and maybe we'll do another wrap session like this once a week, whatever it is. Thank you so much for spending your time with us this morning. We love you.
Yes.
Keep it raw, stay rad, y'all.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.